Governor Rick Scott has a lot of signing to do. With just 2 days left in the legislative session, the House and the Senate are reviewing and passing bill after bill. And this is important because before you know it, these could soon become law. The gun and school safety bill is one that's getting national attention in the wake of the Parkland shooting. A massive education bill could have the biggest impact on you and your family. But first, we're talking about the bill that is dominating social media, the Sunshine Protection Act. It would make daylight saving time year-round here in Florida. That means when you turn your clocks forward this weekend, they could stay that way for good.
And the bill passed with a big majority, 33-2 in the Senate and 103-11 in the House. But this is far from a done deal. The Sunshine Protection Act is basically a request for lawmakers in Washington to let Florida have year-round daylight saving time. Well, that still needs to be approved by Governor Scott, and then the U.S. House and the Senate needs to be on board for this to happen. I know there's a lot of confusion here, so meteorologist Bobby Deskins is here to explain what year-round daylight saving actually means.
Well, we actually don't lose or change any amount of daylight that we see throughout the year. We all know that the Earth is tilted on its axis, and as we rotate around the Earth, it changes the sun angle, and that changes the length of the amount of daylight hours that we see. So in the wintertime, we see our least amount of daylight. But as we get towards spring, almost towards now, we start to see more and more sunlight. Then by the time we get towards summer, we're leaning towards the sun, and we have longer hours of daylight. Now, if you look at that on a map, this is what it looks like in January to June, back down to December. This is sunrise and this is sunset. These times that I highlighted is 7 a.m. in the morning and 7 p.m. What happens is from January to March, where we are now, you see the sunrise getting earlier and earlier and earlier before 7 a.m. So to adjust that and to take advantage of this light that happens well before 7 a.m. in the summertime, we spring forward. So now 7 a.m. is back here, closer to where sunrise is. Kids getting on the pool, on the bus, that type of thing makes it easier. Now, let's go down towards November because that's when we fall back, right? If this bill passes and we don't fall back, your sunrise is going to be closer to about 8:30 in December.
That's going to be pretty dark. We got a lot of comments about this possible change on social media, of course. Opinions are split. Some of you say you don't like changing your clocks twice a year, right? Who does? Others say it won't make sense when our time is off from the rest of the East Coast for 6 months out of the year. Of course, we'll let you know what happens when the U.S. House or Senate consider letting Florida make this change.